Last week, Warren Buffett bought 60 million shares of Taiwan Semiconductor for $4.1 billion. Now, I had followed Warren into Occidental Petroleum about 6 months ago, and that was a good investment, and I respect Warren's judgment, but I'm going to play this different. I just do not like the implications that Xi Jinping has said that's ours and we're not going to let it go. And I'm speaking of Taiwan and his dependence on if he's going to be a major player in the advancement of our world into Web 3. He needs to control Taiwan Semiconductor. And I'm afraid, Warren, I'm going to have to go in a different direction. And what I want to do is share with my listeners right now what I'm buying along the same strategy.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeyer.
Warren, I have all the respect in the world for you and Charlie, but you're probably two of the three or four people who are in this business that are older than me. I think, and I want to wish Charlie a happy birthday. I think he turns 99 years old today. So happy birthday, Charlie. But I'm going to go in a different direction. I think you're in the right strategy that we have to invest in semiconductors because they are going to run Web 3.0, and that's going to be driven by artificial intelligence and machine learning, and we have to have these semiconductors to make that possible. So Taiwan is right now where they're being made, but this, to me, Warren, is comparable to Elon Musk getting in bed with Xi Jinping and making 50% of his Teslas in Shanghai. And yes, at this point, Taiwan doesn't belong to China, but that's not the case in Xi Jinping's mind. He has basically said it was ours, it will be ours in the future. So I don't want to go in that direction. Instead, I want to spend my 60 million or my 4.1 billion, that's what you spent on Taiwan Semiconductors. I want to spend it on ASML, another acronym. And what they are in is in photolithography. And in essence, they make machines that make semiconductors. They're a Dutch company, and they basically own this market. Their machines range from 200 million to 340 million apiece. They are the only manufacturer of the machines that make the top of the line, the fastest, the best semiconductors in the world. And they have orders on their books right now for $100 billion of machines, and that basically ties up their manufacturing for the next 5 years. They had a fire, I guess it was about 6 months ago in one of their factories, but they assure us that that's all taken care of and they're moving forward. This is what their machine looks like. I have read it. I have a limited understanding of how it works, but I don't really understand how a machine that costs $340 million each produces this semiconductor. And as I understand it, it has to be perfectly clean, and it has to work. And the shipping and the receiving of it is something that the technicians from ASML have to show up and put the thing to running order. And then beyond that, there's the service contracts, because nobody else walks into that machine other than the people who built it. So it's a moat-driven business, and this is one of Warren's statements. You buy companies that have a wide moat around it so that nobody else is going to come in and take their business. So ASML is a drop kick for me. Let's look at their Moomoo charts and see what is the setup is, and where I think we've got at least a double. It's just that it's a very expensive stock. So let's take a look at the charts. This here is my Moomoo chart on ASML. And as you can see, if we go back to 2020, this was November of 2020, it had a nice run up. And then as we got into our interest rates and inflation era of November 2021, the roller coaster turned and went down, and has reached went from $885 down to 362. So it lost a lot of its value. But this is the company, the only company that makes the multi-million dollar machines that make semiconductors, and our world is going to continue to be dependent on semiconductors as we move into the Web 3.0. So you can see what drew my attention to it was here on November the 16th, it crossed the 200-day moving average. And in my way of investing that I've learned from Mark is that just basically shows momentum. For 200 days, this has had a downward momentum, and now it has turned and gone up. And you can see in the MACD, it reflects that as well. Went above the 50-day, went above the 9-day, and then crossed on November the 16th over the 200-day and has moved up. Now it's pulled back a little today, and that has to do basically with the overall market rather than anything to do with ASML. And again, understand this is the only company that makes the multi-million dollar machine that makes the semiconductors that we're going to need in the world. Okay, that's my play in the semiconductor business. And again, understand that we are moving into the era of what is being called Web 3.0. And what Web 3.0 is all about is, number one, it's about processing all the data that we've collected for 40 years, and then they're going to implement the blockchain into it. And this is something I've been talking about for 2 years now, is that is going to lead to where Kerry owns his own data and you own your own data. And as you go from website to website, you basically say, hey, if you want my data, pay me for it. And if you want me, as I am currently looking for an electric bike, if I go and invest or look at a website about electric bikes and Google follows me there and takes that and then sells it to 52 electric bike companies and makes money off of my search on Google with Web 3.0, I am going to basically say, no, Google, if you want to sell advertising to those 53 bike companies, you got to share the revenues with me. And that's what Web 3.0 is all about. Well, take that in your mind and think about all the mechanics that are going to have to be in place in the blockchain to make that work. And you understand now why ASML is a no-brainer. They are the only people who make the machine that is going to make that possible. So, you use your own analogy and your own comparison as to what this means for you and I. I bought in today, and the market is down, so it was a red day. But as you saw on the chart, it's past its 200-day moving average, and I think it's a straight climb up. All right, that's my take on Warren's decision to buy Taiwan Semiconductor. Sorry, Warren, I think there's a better play. But then again, I don't know that you and Charlie haven't done something similar to what I'm doing, and I just won't learn about it until you do your next filing. That's what Kerry Grinkmeyer is all about. He is not interested in investing on what the market is doing today. He's interested in taking the technology, the technical analysis that Mark has taught me over over on our Discord, and I'll put a link so you can see exactly how I interpret these charts or where I learned to interpret these charts to help me make better investment decisions. As Jim Cramer, who I'm not a big fan of, says, there's a bull market somewhere every day. And I think this certainly is, along with energy, is a bull market. And I believe shortly after that will be biotech as we move into the era of genome sequencing, genome editing, and genome therapy. These are the places you need to focus on and not worry about what's happening in the market today. Let's have a good day, and I'll see you again tomorrow.